And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel guys, here for of course our daily briefing as we go through as a community all the latest Liverpool news from the last 24 hours. And actually it's been a fairly eventful one. As you can read in the title, Liverpool have agreed a deal ahead of the summer. That comes from The Athletic, of course. We'll be going and diving into that imminently, whilst also going through the referee appointment for this weekend's clash against Manchester United, as that has now been announced. And then we're going to go through, as we always do at the start of the month, the state of play for April. As stated at the start of every month, kind of like to do a bit of housekeeping, go over the month as a whole, and yeah, discuss what's on the horizon for Liverpool, whilst also going over maybe a few other bits and pieces within the space. But guys, as always, hit the like button. We hit over 500 likes on the last live stream, yesterday's live stream. So can we better that? Can we go for 550? Well, please do hit the old like button, guys. Subscribe, and most importantly, get involved down there in the live chat. And yeah, comment where you're listening from. And yes, do you think, answer this poll, will we win all of our 9 games left in the Premier League? The options are yes, no, and no, but we'll still win the league. So let me know if you believe Liverpool will win all 9 Premier League games that are left of the current season. Anyway, let's fire straight into some news today, guys. And of course, weirdly enough, as I said, always going into games, it's never really when I was kind of younger, but nowadays we're always quite worried on who's going to be a referee and who's going to be the referees for the games, because they usually have a big say of things in the matches, of course. And, well, it has been confirmed for the upcoming game against Manchester United this weekend that Anthony Taylor is refereeing at Old Trafford. Now, a lot of Liverpool fans will be unhappy with that one, but yeah, he has been appointed as the referee for the Manchester United versus Liverpool game, of course, this Sunday. For the assistants, for those of you that care, are Gary Beswick, Adam Nunn. The fourth officials are Craig Pawson, and VAR is John Brooks. Assistant VAR is, of course, Richard West. So, as stated, the refereeing appointments have been made ahead of the clash. And are you happy with that one? I suppose most Liverpool fans would say no. But let me know, let me know do you think we'll beat Manchester United this weekend? Do you think we'll beat them at Old Trafford? I know we've got the game against Sheffield United. We'll get through the state of play of April a bit later on in today's video. But just let me know, just quickly on, just so we can get some conversation going. Do you think we'll beat Manchester United? And what's your early score predictions at Old Trafford? Will we put the wrongs right from the game prior to the international break? Again, let me know down there in the old comment section below. So as stated, the referee appointment has been made. And I suppose it is bad news on that regard. Now, yesterday there was a bit of rumours, there was a bit of news circulating social media, and wrongful information had been coming out with regards to Liverpool being interested in a particular transfer chief that Manchester United were monitoring. However, just as we do go in, I do want to say that that is false, it's fake news, it wasn't true, and that's now been backed up, of course, by Fabrizio Romano. But as stated, Manchester United were keen on bringing in Southampton's director of football, Jason Wilcox, and then of course false or allegations or going down that Liverpool were set to compete with Manchester United for him, and that we had already reportedly agreed a compensation package with Southampton. However, that has been now rubbished, and he will be going to Manchester United. He's not going to be going to Liverpool, nor was he ever linked to Liverpool. So take of that what you will. Guys, if you are just piling in, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We are going to get to the main substance of today's video right now, and that's of course the deal that we have agreed. Yes, we have been since the international break really have been, appointing people here and there. Of course, we've seen Michael Edwards come in. We've of course seen Richard Hughes come in as the director of football, or set to be appointed as the director of football, and then sort of chief scouts, so Mark Birchall and all these kind of things. Now, on the channel, I've been speaking a lot about this man here. That is, of course, Pedro Marquez, and The Athletic this morning are reporting that Liverpool have agreed a deal for him, and he will, of course, be joining the new setup at Liverpool, or should I say FSG rather. Now, the thing is with this one, it is a done deal. As stated, he is going to be the next man a part of the team. And it's an interesting one, really, because, well, it's going into this sort of multi-club setup that we're going to be currently having at Liverpool. It's been no secret that's the direction that we're going to be going down. That's the direction we're going through. And as stated, some fans just keep on going, well, it's for a long, long time away. We're not really going to be going down that route just yet, but it's going to be happening very, very quickly. I think FSG are very ambitious to get this multi-club setup rolled out and acquire another club very, very soon. There's been reports, obviously, that it could be in Brazil or in South America. It's also been reported it could be in the MLS. It's also been reported that it could be in Europe as well. So there is a lot of noise around this subject at this moment in time. And this man here was directed as the first pick. And basically, what we have from David Ornstein and The Athletic is that FSG are appointing him from Benfica technical director. So he's the Benfica technical director, Pedro Marques, in their new look football structure. Marques will be employed by FSG as they seek to utilise his expertise to attract global talent. Now, I don't really know too much about Pedro Marques, but what I would say is go check out The Athletic and go and see their article this morning with regards to him. But basically, whilst he hasn't really got a final job title at this moment in time, he is expected to take on the responsibility for player development and player pathways, similar to those departing Liverpool elite development coach Victor Matos, who currently holds that position. So he'll be coming in that sort of position and in sort of that role. And of course, with this sort of multi-club structure, it looks like we're getting the right people in the right places, which is really, really good to see. Look, Benfica, it speaks for themselves in terms of their recruitment over the last 10 years. The players that they've seen come out and do things and play in their first team and then be sold on for big money and go on to have a really, really good career in the game. I said recently in another video that Liverpool do want to change their sort of transfer strategy and go right to the source rather than, of course, paying big transfer fees. We've never been a club that really do that anyway, but especially going into transition, we want to make sure that we have the right people in the right places as we do go into this transition point, because you just have to look at Manchester United and the way that they've cocked things up over the last decade. Chelsea as well, now that they've got new owners in place, and spending money is just not sustainable. And now with every club getting picked up and getting put down for sustainability, profit sustainability, it just makes more to a reason as to why we shouldn't be doing that. But yeah, he's obviously coming in that one to obviously help out to attract global talent, which is a really, really smart move, I believe, but also plays a bigger picture in the role of FSG's kind of master plan, that of course being the multi-club sort of network. So things might move pretty quick with regards to that, but that is a done deal. He's the next man to join the revolution, and of course that has been confirmed by The Athletic and David Ornstein. So do let me know your thoughts down there in the comment section below with regards to Pedro Marques, and do you actually know anything about him? Let me know down there in the old comment section below or in the live chat. Just to check on our poll at this moment in time, I said to the viewers, will we win all of our 9 games left remaining in the Premier League? And 56% of viewers said yes, 19% of viewers said no, and the third option, which was no, but we'll still win the Premier League, that's claimed by 25% of you. So very, very interesting. Guys, there's over 100 people in here. If you can already hit the like button, that'd be absolutely amazing. And let's try and get to our like target of 500 for the stream. Obviously, watching on a replay, do your bit as well. Thank you very much. Now, as I always do in April, guys, I like to have a little look ahead at what the month brings us. Whilst we have got a bit of news that we've agreed a deal today, which is quite cool to see. We are in the midst of a title race. We are in the midst of a very, very busy April period. And I just want to break it down. And it's basically games, and more games in this month. And as stated, for this one, it's going to have a massive say, April, whether we can push for this Premier League title, whether we can get this Premier League title. And also, well, we can get into the last 4 of the Europa League, which is another competition which we seriously want to go and win. Should Liverpool merge into May, still top of the Premier League, they will have one hand on the trophy, in my personal opinion, just considering the fixtures that we have got coming. But in this part of the live stream, guys, we are going to be going through the key dates to look for ahead as we do go into the month of April. So, of course, this week, April 4th, on Thursday, we've got Sheffield United at home. And stated, Sheffield United probably may be the weakest team that we're actually going to be going up against in the league. But Anfield won't be taking anything for granted as Liverpool play their second home game of this week. The Reds will likely need a win to go back on the table, and the crowd will be very much up for this fixture, and it is under the lights. You don't really get too many Premier League games under the lights, but yeah, this one's going to be a night game, and it's going to, hopefully, the crowd is going to be rocking and ready to go for it. Now, of course, April 7th, which is this weekend, is the big game against Manchester United. Manchester United away. Now, after the heartbreaking defeat in the last minute of the FA Cup quarter-final, we'll be looking to return back to Old Trafford, looking for revenge in the league. And if you had asked me, and this is not sour grapes, if you had asked me, go out of the FA Cup or lose 3 points to Old Trafford, which one I would rather want? Obviously, I would have wanted both, but I would have said I would have chose the Premier League win over this the FA Cup quarter-final. But as stated, Erik ten Hag's side have been far from convincing in recent weeks and months, and do sit 6th in the table with, I think, 0 goal difference. So they're not really that great so far this season. Their probably most positive result was against us, funnily enough, and even then we probably should have beat them. However, we all know they can pluck results from nothing, so we do need to have our A game in that game, of course, on April 7th. Now, moving to April 11th, guys, we've got Atalanta at home. Yes, Liverpool were pleased with their draw when Atalanta came out of the hat for the Europa League semi-finals, but the Italian side, guys, are no pushovers. A lot of fans are already saying that us going to Dublin is a done deal. Yes, we won the game convincingly in the previous round, but Atalanta are always there or thereabouts in this Europa League, and again, we need to respect them. They're a side that obviously want to go as far as they possibly can in this competition as well, so we'll need to go give it a massive bash. But on March 30th, they actually beat the Serie A champions Napoli 3-0, and also knocked out Sporting Club de Portugal, managed by Ruben Amorim in the last round. So they aren't no pushovers. They're a side that can be capable of winning games. And whilst I do see we can do a bit of squad rotation now, we're getting a fully fit squad now emerging again. I do think we can try and do what we did against Sparta, get the job done in the first leg, and then maybe rotate again in the second leg, which would be good for us. April 14th is Crystal Palace. We need to play them at home. We're playing Crystal Palace at home. And again, a very different one to what we've probably seen. Obviously, we were managed to Roy Hodgson earlier in the campaign. But yeah, another game where hopefully we'll get the job done as well. Another key date on April 15th, guys, is of course the 35th anniversary of Hillsborough. This occasion will be marked by a Mosaic on the cot before the previous game against Crystal Palace, and a minute's silence will obviously be held by all at the club at 3:06 p.m. on the 15th. Liverpool actually did make an announcement that said academy players will take part in a range of events to mark the anniversary, including educational sessions and the annual Hillsborough Anniversary Football Tournament held in Kirkby. There will be visiting teams from Everton, Nottingham Forest and Sheffield United. Another game then following it. As you can see, it's a really, really busy schedule this April. April 18th, guys, we've got the second leg against Atalanta. This one will be away from home. Again, another crucial match, but hopefully it will be a hostile arena. The Italian stadiums usually are, and depending on if the tie is in the balance, will determine what we do. But as stated, there's a chance to get to the semi-final, and if we do progress, we'll take on either Benfica or Marseille. So again, another very, very important game. Now, April 24th, the Merseyside derby. Of course, this was rescheduled. This was originally scheduled for March 17th. It is obviously going to Goodison Park and will be one of the last games at Goodison Park, I think. And obviously due to our quarter-final with Manchester United, it then got moved to here. The derby will be a crucial one for both teams. Let's put it that way. Everyone's thinking about Liverpool's stake, but whilst we're pushing for the title and it's every game's very important, Everton are now coming to that point where they're looking and seeking points to stay above water and stay in the Premier League. So again, both teams will have that little extra added incentive to actually go on and win this game. So it shouldn't be, and it will not be an easy game for Liverpool, but it could certainly be the most tensest derby for quite some time. But a lot at stake for both clubs. Liverpool, of course, competing for the title, and Everton looking to try and stay up in the division. So there you go with regards to that. Now, of course, April 23rd brings Fulham away. We've got the aforementioned run of consecutive away matches. Of course, we have got that period with loads of away matches which started at Atalanta, then Fulham, then Everton at West Ham. So we've got 4 in a row. Of course, this will be a big barrier for Klopp and the boys. But thankfully, by then, Liverpool should have some more key players return with sort of Trent Alexander-Arnold, Curtis Jones, Diogo Jota, and Alisson could also be involved at this point with a bit of luck. So, that's the second of those long away games. And then, of course, last game of this month will be on April 27th as we take on West Ham United. By this point, though, we'll surely have a better idea of where the title will be headed, though we haven't have said with several games to go in the past. After this fixture, there are just 3 league matches remaining. Should Liverpool drop points in London, it should have very little meaning to make up the deficit. So, very busy. Very busy month, probably the most important month at this moment in time with regards to our season and what everything's going to go like. But yeah, there's no margin for error. There's no room for error for Liverpool going into this month of April. There's 3 away games on the trot. Game against Manchester United at Old Trafford, game against Everton, and this is what you want as supporters. It's going to be good, but if we come back here, we're sitting this time next month. I do on the 1st of May where we're on the live talking about the month. If we come through this, top of the table, I'm going to be even more confident we should have that one hand on the trophy. At least, I think so. So, here's hoping that we get the job done and have a really successful month for sure. But, yeah. Let me know what you guys think. Who's the team that you think's going to be a slip-up maybe in April? Who do you think that we could slip up against? Or if you think we're going to go, what's going to be the hardest game for us? Let me know down there in the comment section below. And you know what? For me, funnily enough, it's actually not Manchester United. It's not Man United. I had enough confidence from the game. Look, we just didn't take our chances in that last game. And I've seen enough of Manchester United because they're kind of always on the TV when I'm down the bar or the pub or something. They're always in the background. I've seen enough of them. They aren't a good side. I can't see them doing 2 against us. I don't want to jinx it, of course not. But they're not the team that bother me at this moment in time. It really isn't. It's the games against that game against Everton at Goodison, that one's going to be an interesting one. Not because Everton had possessed the quality to beat us. I just think that, Sean Dyche's way of play, I think they could maybe sting us on a draw or something like that. They had the crowd up against it as well. That's the probably one I'm looking at as a potential stumbling block. And then maybe more Fulham over the Manchester United game. Over the Manchester United game, I'm looking at that Fulham game more so. So the one I'm probably most nervous for is Everton, but by the time we get to the Everton game, we'll have a real idea of where we're at and where we're currently headed. So it's one of those. Yeah. Man United and Tottenham, anyone, says Bagav. Okay, that's in May, isn't it? But yeah. Interesting. Let me take some live chat comments, guys. Good to see you all. Atalanta battered the Amorim Masterclass team. They'll be very hard rival for us in the Europa League, says Marco. Again, I'm not underestimating Atalanta. I think they're a very, very good team. I think we will preview them a bit later on, but not today. But obviously when the game gets a bit closer. But yeah, they're certainly no mugs. They've done well, and they'll be up for it. They'll be up for it to try and cause an upset. There's no foregone conclusion with regards to where we're at this moment in time. It doesn't necessarily mean we've got one hand on the title or anything, but it's a very, very important April for us regardless, and here's hoping we come through that still top of the table and into the semi-finals of the Europa League, and that would be a very, very successful month for us. So, as stated, he is hoping. The question was, guys, what do you think in April is going to be the biggest stumbling block for us? Let me know down there in the comment section below. Let me know down there in the live chat what do you think is going to be the big stumbling block for us in April. I've said Everton potentially, or Fulham. Someone made a good point there, West Ham. Yeah, that's a shout as well, to be fair, Stephen. That's a shout as well, West Ham. They can pose a problem. Going into May, it's Villa. Villa looks like a tough one, to be fair. But we'll take that as it comes. It's still in April at this moment in time. Troops, if you haven't already hit the like button, please do. Let's try and get this one, as stated, a bit more up in terms of the likes. If you are a Liverpool fan, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you are just joining us, of course, guys, there has been confirmation that Liverpool have, or FSG have, appointed Pedro Marquez, and he's the latest person to join this sort of new revolution, coming from the technical director from Benfica, and is going to be the position he's holding up essentially is going to be attracting global talent. I've told you about this sort of multi-club model that we're going down at this moment in time, and whilst we haven't got a club that we're actually linked in, or a club that we're actually going for, they are going to be he's going to be part of the big overall setup at looking to try and make sure that we're at the forefront of this sort of recruitment, which I do like to see, because Benfica have been absolutely amazing at recruitment over the last few years, and I mean, it's there for all to see. You know, they're fantastic at doing it. They go straight to the source. They've got their fingers in a lot of pies when it comes to their recruitment. So here's hoping we can get something from him for sure. But that's really kind of it. Let me just try and see if I've got any more stuff to discuss, guys. Sometimes things could happen. Let me just have a little look. 2 seconds. As I said, we've gone through the referees this weekend as well. Yeah. I've also, I mean, there's a bit on Roberto De Zerbi, but I think you guys already know that now. But Roberto De Zerbi is, he's not going to be the manager. But yeah, basically reports coming out just stating that he's not going to really be, he's not favoured for it at this moment in time. Also, actually, 2 young Liverpool ballers doing well yesterday as well. Sorry, the Liverpool loanees, of course. Tyler Morton he teed up Fabio Carvalho for a stunning goal. As they did well. As I said, Fabio Carvalho netted his 5th goal of the season thanks to a fine assist from his fellow Liverpool loanee. But it's not always smooth elsewhere in the Championship, though, for Calvin Ramsey. Not really going well for him at this moment in time. But yeah, good to see. Obviously, they're doing well at Hull at this moment in time. And in terms of an actual Liverpool loanee roundup, for those of you that care, Sepp Vandenberg played for Mainz. He played 90 minutes against Leipzig. Tyler Morton played the 90 minutes versus Leeds, got an assist. Fabio Carvalho played 90 minutes versus Leeds, got a goal. Nat Phillips played 90 minutes for Cardiff against Coventry. Luke Chambers played 90 minutes for Wigan against Cambridge. Luke Stevenson played 60 minutes for Barrow against Morecambe. James Norris played 90 minutes versus Colchester United for Tranmere, and then Vitalis Davdraros played 90 minutes for Storm Graz against Salzburg. And players that did not play is Calvin Ramsey, still having a bit of a torrid time, Harvey Davis, Marcelo Betluga, Adam Lewis, Dominic Cornes, Billy Comito, and then Jacob Orzinski. So some Reds doing really, really well. Good to see Fabio, though, doing fantastically well. He's had a bit of a hard start to his sort of lone career, if you like, at the start of the season at Leipzig, but certainly going well for him at Hull. And good to see Tyler Morton also doing very, very well. So yeah, good to see the Reds are impressing everywhere they go at this moment in time. What about the Amorim shit, I just hit my leg. I hit my finger, sorry. For us, as to win the 9 games left, is the players that will make us rich there. Let me get that right. Yeah. I think the benefit of Spurs is at home. We should be at full strength. The thing is, I've got an Arsenal supporting friend, and he was like, he's so confident. I'm thinking, you got to play Spurs away. That's tough. I think they always underestimate Spurs, but I think Spurs could have a big say in this title race. And to go away from home against Spurs as well, I think it's actually quite tough. I'm not going to lie. Let me have a look at Arsenal's one. I'm told Manchester City. I don't really look at other teams' fixtures, to be perfectly honest, but I'm told Manchester City have the best running, but I've actually never really looked at it, to be honest. Let's have a look at Arsenal's quickly. Hold up. Let me see on my phone. So they got Luton on Wednesday. Then they've got Brighton away. Then they've got Villa at home. Wolves away. Molyneux's a bit tough plays. Chelsea at home. Spurs away. Man United away. I mean, they got some. I could see where the confidence kind of comes from, but I think that Spurs away could be a big one because they only have to draw that, and it could be a bit of a problem for them. In terms of Manchester City, everyone keeps talking about their running being the easiest out of all of us. Villa at home, Palace away is a tough one. Tottenham away, of course, that's going to be a big one as well for them. Fulham away, potentially Forest, Brighton, no. But yeah, Spurs away for them. I think Pep has a torrid record there. I don't think he's done really well at Spurs, honestly. So I think that could be a big say. But anyway, guys, I think that's enough for today, really. I've not really got any much more to talk about, unfortunately. But if you did enjoy the show, do hit the old like button, hit the subscribe button. And of course, we'll probably release a video a bit later on. As stated, hit the like, hit the subscribe button and get involved. What do you think is our hardest game in April first? Will we win all our 9 games left of the remaining in the Premier League? And of course, let me know your thoughts on our new appointment, guys. Thank you. I'll see you all next time. Take care.